Hey y'all, it's Colston here. It is Tea Shop Monday, and I just got to my office, getting ready for my tea shot with my buddy Rhonda, and I stopped off at FedEx because my alert that my testosterone had arrived. I'm walking out of FedEx, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I remember day one, like videoing, I'm walking into FedEx, I might have seatbelt buckled it into the front seat because you don't want to take any chances taking it home. And so today I'm like, all right, here's my box, snap. Here's a picture. Things continue to go really, really well. Again, cannot complain. My voice continues to drop and get deeper. I'm able to keep it more consistent. I have not been misgendered. Well, I didn't keep track, but it's been a while since someone has called me, referring to a group, ladies or whatnot. So one of the coolest things about working with people for a living, and being able to earn enough trust with them that they share things with you, and it's not always like, oh, this horrible thing happened, I'm depressed, let's talk about it. That we do in session, right? Of course, that's time and place, of course. So what I think is really amazing is when I haven't talked to a client in a long time, and all of a sudden I get a message with video, with a comment of, I'm getting to live my dream right now, and they wanted to share that with me. That is such an amazing, amazing confirmation of the connections we get to make, that we have the opportunity to make as a human with other humans. And watching this video footage of a dolphin out in Florida, swimming next to her in her kayak. Wow. I'm watching it, my eyes are welling up, I'm feeling the feels, right? And I just thought, God, what an amazing experience she's having right now. And at the same time, what an amazing experience I'm having in the fact that she thought she wanted to share it with me. It was absolutely beautiful. So on that same note today, I'm heading down the hallway at work, and a colleague says, oh man, Colston, I gotta tell you something. It's so exciting. I'm like, okay, what is it, right? So she tells me the story, and I'm just like, dude, that's so awesome. That's badass. And as I'm walking away, I'm thinking, God, I love that somewhere along the line, people haven't seen it in a while. And so to hear excitement in people's voices again, and topics that are not just about the COVID pandemic, or the negative thing that's happened in their life, or the time they were misgendered, or the time that somebody was rude to them, and which is what we get kind of bombarded with in lots of different media sources. And I thought, and here it is, face-to-face conversation. Yes, we're still wearing masks at work, but hey, I'm so excited about this thing, and I want to share it with you. I feel so privileged, and it's amazing. So I'm chatting with a doc today that I get the pleasure of working with at the Gender Health Clinic. He's telling me that a local hospital has asked him to come and speak. And while the original idea was that it was going to be on the actual medicine of hormone treatment, it turns out that what the group actually needs to hear is how to interact with and how to better understand the trans community and the trans culture. And the doc that I'm working with is amazing, right? Like, the man could talk about that for days and everything be cool. And he'd be on point, and he'd be accurate, and he would represent so many different viewpoints. But in our conversation, he says, hey, I've been, asked to do this, and I was wondering, would you be willing to read over what I wrote before I present? And I'm like, all right, Mr. MD Brainiac Man, I'd be honored. Like, wow, that you would even ask me. And he's like, wow, I think it'd probably be helpful to have someone who's actually in the community review what I have prepared for it. And I just thought, wow, what a compliment. What a testament, really, to, I've sat through years and years and years of cultural competency training, and then there was cultural fluency training, and right now I work diversity, equity, equality, inclusion, and so we've got all these vocabulary words that keep coming around. But to actually be able to work with someone who gets the importance of actually hearing the voice of people who are part of that community, and not, oh, I did all this research, so I know. Or, I talked to one person, and so this must be the perspective of everyone. And to have enough humility and just being human to reach out, hey, you're a resource, and so would you mind looking it over before I go present? It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal feeling today. I had the opportunity to present to a group that's run at our clinic for managing diabetes. And when I walked in, I'm listening to group members share progress. My A1C is down to this. My A1C is down to this. I remember when my A1C was this high. If you're not sure for diabetes, or don't know much about diabetes, the A1C is kind of like a 3-month average of blood sugar levels. And what is to be considered managed is 7 and below. And listening to folks praise each other, the clapping, just the camaraderie that is created in group sessions. It was awesome to be able to walk in. I haven't been a part of this group before. I was asked to present today on some of the psychosocial factors affecting diabetes, and also what you can do with those things. So things like depression and anxiety that's related to whether you're just now being diagnosed, you're struggling to manage your numbers, maybe you're struggling with the diet that the dietitian has recommended for you, or some of the instructions that the doc has given to you. And so one of the cool things about where I work at is not only do we have diabetes clinics, but there's also this diabetes group. And today was their last group for this phase. And so there was, later to come, certificates and thank yous and all that stuff at the end. So here I am as a stranger walking in, and I got my mask on, and the dietitian introduces me, and I love talking, love presenting, love training, love teaching. So anything where I kind of have a stage, I'm all for it. And today I realized, actually probably only like a couple hours ago, I realized that was my first presentation where I was introduced as Colston. Meaning it was my first presentation being introduced, living as, exhibiting as my true self, and not some facade or some obligatory, gender that I'm supposed to be and act accordingly. So here I am at 45 years, and I've been speaking for years, and to have and Colston is here today, blah, blah, blah. Wow. The first time I've been introduced as Colston, right, to speak to a group. So it was awesome. So, I think only one person fell asleep during the presentation, so I think we're good overall. Everybody was very active and participated, and that's what I love. Anytime I'm speaking, it's not about just standing up and lecturing. I want involvement. I want to hear your insight because, I don't have all the answers. You do, right? This is your life. And so my job is, how do we unlock, or how do we remind ourselves where we might have locked away the answers to those questions that we're asking now. And it was an awesome opportunity or experience to be introduced as Colston. It was pretty rad today. So not too long ago, I went to take my recyclables in to our Jolly Green Giant, turn in the cans and get some cash, right? Do my part for recycling for our Mother Nature. And so I'm standing talking to the guy that's working there, and some guy comes walking up behind me, and he's like, hey, bro, you like Batman? So my truck was there, and obviously it's Batman'd out. And so I turned around, I was like, nah, I hate him. And the poor guy was like, what? I kind of nutted him up, right? And so anyway, so we're chatting and kind of laughing and joking stuff, and at one point he's like, well, but your license plate, man, like, what's the 76 for? Like, you're not that old. Like, double shot of I don't know, recognition, acknowledgement. Like, not only am I dude bro, man, but I apparently look younger than 45, so I'll take that. I'm like, don't look at the gray in my beard. But it was pretty awesome. But we chatted stuff, and it turns out he's just a year younger than me, and he's like, well, I'm gonna be a grandpa soon. And I was like, damn, who's the old one now? He didn't really have anything to say after that. So, Tea Shop Monday, hanging out with Rhonda, getting jabbed in the gut. And as we're talking about time, I realized today that I am a little over 8 months on testosterone. the cool thing about being on social media and being able to view and be a part of different posts and different groups on Facebook, and seeing the process of tons of people I've never met sharing their experiences is, I love watching people's videos, day one on T, a month, 6 months, a year. Today there was a post, somebody saying, I've been on T for 20 years. I thought, holy moly, what an amazing story they probably have. So today's little tidbit for Tea Shop Monday, not just when it comes to transition, but anything. Make time to listen to folks, make time to listen to their stories, ask the questions that keep them talking. I had the occasion this weekend out at a restaurant, and I was listening to a live Mexican guitarist who literally, no pick. In fact, when he chatted, why would I do this? I have all these other fingers. Why not use them all? He had this way of just floating over those strings, and I countless times I'm just staring at the dude like mesmerized by his ability. And then to find out he's been a teacher for 35, 40 years. And so he showed me some clips of some of his younger students. And when I say younger, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, playing with the same feeling and emotion and connection to the instrument and connection to themselves that allow for this music to just emit from their instrument. And there was no sheet music, there was just playing and all of the wonderful Mexican music. And one particular, actually there's a couple of songs that he played that evening that he would point out that when you're near a mariachi band, and there's so many 6, 7, 8 people, and they've all got different parts and different instruments and different roles to play in that group performance. He played a couple of songs where he is literally playing all the parts on the guitar. It's fast and it is intense, and again, I just caught my eyes welling up, and just the feeling that comes from music, and even more so the feeling that comes from hearing a small granule of his life story and his life experience. It goes there for like 2 hours and only left because they were closing. Apparently he was done for the evening, so I should probably let the guy go. But yeah, make time to listen to other people's stories, make time to ask the questions that keep them talking, be engaged, listen to hear, listen to feel. Don't listen to figure out what I'm going to say next or in response, right? Don't listen to talk, listen to feel. If you're not used to doing that, try it out this week. It's a pretty amazing difference when I'm listening and I'm feeling the story of somebody else. And I've probably said this countless times, but what an amazing world we live in, and what amazing humans that inhabit the earth. And so that's all. This is Colston signing off. Have a great week.